We're kicking things off by honoring the genius who transformed the internet and kept the world connected when the pandemic shut the planet down. Marian Croak is the engineer, inventor, tech pioneer who was with AT&T when she created the technology behind Skype, Zoom, Wi-Fi phone calls, video conferencing. She is known as the voice over internet protocol.
I want to first extend my thanks to my 3 wonderful children. They have been my source of inspiration and they renewed my creativity.
Well, it's like you have to have this mindset when you look at problems in the world that they are solvable, right? And all they're waiting for is for someone to come along and fix that.
I felt like IP and the internet was going to explode and that we needed to move towards the internet in order to be competitive.
Chances are you started your day with a team meeting on Zoom, or maybe you're ending it with a video call to a loved one on the other side of the world. We take this stuff for granted, the ability to see and hear people in real time over the internet as if they were right there in the room. It's seamless, it's instant, and it's absolutely essential. But what if I told you that this entire ecosystem of modern communication, the very magic that powers our remote work, our global friendships, and our digital lives, was pioneered by one black woman you've likely never heard of? Her name is Dr. Marian Croak.
The genius who transformed the internet and kept the world connected when the pandemic shut the planet down. Marian Croak is the engineer, inventor, tech pioneer who was with AT&T when she created the technology behind Skype, Zoom, Wi-Fi phone calls, video conferencing. She is known as the voice over internet protocol.
This is the story of how she not only changed the internet forever, but also revolutionized how we help each other in a crisis. This isn't just a story about technology. It's a story about vision, grit, and a legacy that's been hiding in plain sight for way too long. Dr. Marian Croak is one of the most prolific inventors in modern history. With over 200 patents to her name, she's a titan of technology who has fundamentally shaped how we connect and communicate. In 2022, she was inducted into the National Inventors Hall of Fame, taking her place alongside figures like Thomas Edison and Alexander Graham Bell. Incredibly, she was one of the first 2 black women to ever receive this honor in the institution's nearly 50-year history. Today, she's a vice president of engineering at Google, leading the charge on responsible AI and human-centered technology. But to really get her impact, we have to go back to a time when the internet was just warming up, and the idea of sending your voice across it was pure science fiction. Dr. Croak didn't just see the future, she got to work and built it. Let's rewind to the 80s and 90s. Communication was split right down the middle. On one side, you had the old-school telephone system, a century-old beast of copper wires and clunky circuit switch technology. Making a long-distance call was pricey, and calling another country was a straight-up luxury. This system was reliable for your voice, but it was completely separate from the new digital frontier that was just starting to emerge: the internet. The internet was built for data. It sent information in a totally new way, not through a dedicated single-line connection, but by chopping data into tiny packets and shooting them through a decentralized network. It was chaotic, flexible, and unbelievably powerful. But at the time, everyone thought it was just for text, images, and files. Voice was seen as too delicate, too complex. The internet was considered way too unreliable to carry a human conversation. The two worlds, voice and data, ran on parallel tracks that nobody thought could or should ever merge. This was the problem Dr. Croak decided to solve. In 1982, a young Marian Croak joined AT&T's legendary Bell Labs. It was the innovation hub of its day, but even there, breaking from tradition was tough. As the internet started bubbling up, she saw what almost no one else did: a colossal inefficiency. Why were they pouring money into maintaining 2 separate, expensive networks? One for phone calls and another for the internet? She had a revolutionary thought. What if you could just treat a voice call like any other piece of data? What if you could convert the sound of a voice into digital packets and send them over the internet? The concept was called Voice over Internet Protocol, or VoIP. The idea was met with intense skepticism. Many of her colleagues thought the internet was a fad, a toy. They argued it could never be dependable enough for something as sacred as a phone call. How could you guarantee quality? What about lag? But Dr. Croak was persistent. She saw the internet wasn't just a trend, it was the future.
I felt like IP and the internet was going to explode and that we needed to move towards the internet in order to be competitive.
She championed the idea, arguing that merging everything onto a single network would be cheaper, more efficient, and would blow the doors open for new possibilities. One of her leaders, sensing her conviction, told her, "Just keep going. Don't listen to them. Just keep going as fast as you can." And she did. So what exactly is VoIP, the technology Dr. Croak was a key pioneer in developing? Think of it this way. A traditional phone call is like having a private train track built between you and the person you're calling. That track is yours and yours alone for the whole call. It's reliable, but incredibly inefficient. VoIP, on the other hand, is more like a global postal service. It takes your voice, chops it into thousands of tiny digital packets, and slaps an address on each one. These packets then race across the internet, each taking the fastest route available, weaving through servers in different cities or even countries. Once they arrive at their destination, the computer or phone of the person you're calling, they are instantly reassembled in the right order and converted back into sound. This all happens in a fraction of a second. Dr. Croak's foundational work involved creating the rules and systems to make sure these packets arrived reliably and were pieced back together into a clear, uninterrupted conversation. She turned digital chaos into crystal clear clarity. It's almost impossible to overstate the impact of Dr. Croak's work on VoIP. It's the bedrock technology for pretty much all modern digital communication. Every Zoom meeting, every Google Meet call, every Skype session with family overseas, it all runs on the principles she helped establish. Platforms like FaceTime and WhatsApp calls simply wouldn't exist without it. This tech tore down the financial and geographic walls of traditional phone lines. It made global communication cheap and accessible for billions. It fueled the rise of remote work, letting teams collaborate from anywhere. It has connected families, powered global businesses, and made our world feel a whole lot smaller. Every time you join a video conference or make a call over Wi-Fi, you're using a system that a visionary black woman fought for when most people said it was impossible. As if reinventing global communication wasn't enough, Dr. Croak had another world-changing idea bubbling up. But this one wasn't just about making technology better. It was about using it to help people in their darkest hour. She was about to change humanitarian aid forever. In 2005, the world watched in horror as Hurricane Katrina tore through New Orleans. People everywhere were desperate to help, but the ways to donate were slow and clunky. You had to find a charity's website, fill out a long form, or, get this, mail a check. Working at AT&T, Dr. Croak saw a way to use simple, existing technology for a much greater good. Partly inspired by the text-to-vote systems used on shows like American Idol, she came up with something new: text to donate. The idea was beautifully simple. What if you could donate to a cause just by sending a text message? She and her co-inventor received a patent for the technology that year, which allowed a user to text a number and have the donation added right to their monthly phone bill. The text-to-donate system was a game changer because it was immediate, easy, and met people exactly where they were, on their phones. The technology was first widely used after Hurricane Katrina, helping to raise $130,000 for relief efforts. But its true, staggering power was unleashed in 2010 after the catastrophic earthquake in Haiti. In the days that followed, relief organizations used Dr. Croak's invention to raise an astonishing $43 million, almost entirely from small $10 donations sent by text. It was the largest mobile giving campaign in history at the time and completely transformed disaster fundraising. It proved that small acts of generosity, when multiplied by millions and unlocked by the right technology, could create a tidal wave of hope. After a trailblazing 32-year career at AT&T, where she managed over 2,000 engineers and oversaw more than 500 programs, Dr. Croak joined Google in 2014 as a vice president of engineering. Her work there continues to be at the cutting edge. She has led projects to expand internet access in developing nations, including bringing public Wi-Fi to railroad stations across India. Today, she leads Google's Research Center for Responsible AI and Human-Centered Technology. In this role, she's tackling some of the biggest questions of our time. How do we make sure artificial intelligence is built ethically, without bias? Her background in social psychology gives her a unique lens for building tech that truly serves humanity first. She remains a fierce advocate for bringing more women and girls into engineering, wanting to inspire anyone who feels they don't see themselves represented in the field. From the daily video call that runs your life to the text message that can save one, Dr. Marian Croak's innovations are all around us. She saw potential in the internet when others only saw problems. She saw a way to connect people for help when others just saw chaos. She shattered barriers as a Black woman in a male-dominated field, not just by being in the room, but by leading the conversation and fundamentally changing its direction. Her journey is a testament to the power of a single, focused vision. It proves that an inventor isn't always a household name, but is someone who, in her own words, focuses on what they want to change and becomes that change. Dr. Marian Croak didn't just see the future. She coded it, patented it, and delivered it right to the palm of our hands. And now, you know her name. If you believe the hidden figures of science and tech deserve their flowers, please share this video with someone who needs to hear this story. And for more stories about the brilliant minds who shaped our world from the shadows, make sure you subscribe.